Welcome everyone to another review, and in today's review, instead of taking a look at an anti-malware application, we're going to be taking a look at something a little bit different. The program is called AOMIE Backupper, and essentially what it does is the main objective of the program is to create an image of your drive. Now, some of you are probably asking, well, what's an image? Well, essentially an image is like taking a snapshot of your drive, kind of like I do with my virtual machines, so that within minutes you can restore that snapshot and be back up and running. Some of you are probably familiar with, most of you I should say, are familiar with System Restore. It works very much similar to System Restore, but it's like System Restore on steroids. The problem with System Restore is it can be easily overrun by malware, and malware has been exploiting it for years, and this really takes that out of the equation. You can actually go back to the point of before you were infected, and it restores all the files, including your personal files, not just program files, registry entries, things like that. So, getting a little bit into the program now, you can see interface-wise, I like it. Very easy to understand. I like the color scheme. Awesome. Thumbs up there, guys. Looking at the tabs on the left side here, pretty much everything you're going to need is going to be in these tabs. Very basic. Once again, if we click on the backup, you can see that you can do a file backup. If we click on that, you can select any specific file you want to create an image of, so you can back up just specific files. Or if you want to do a whole folder, you click on Add Folder, and you can browse and add a specific folder to that specific list. And then you can go ahead and back them up to a designated path. Now, I really wouldn't use file backup that much, just because personally, to me, I can just drag and drop stuff easier than using this. But we can use this to create incremental images. For people who forget about doing backups, this might be a better option. And we'll get into incremental and differential images a little bit later. So let's go back to the main backup screen here, and system backup is what we're really going to be taking a look at today. This is the one I'd probably recommend for most people. You click system backup, and essentially what it's going to do is it's going to look at your drive and figure out which partition the operating system is on. Easiest way to do it to back up your computer is this right here, and this will be useful for most people. All you have to do is click start backup. Actually, after you select a destination for it, which I'd recommend using an external hard drive, because obviously if your hard drive fails, then what's the good of having the image on the hard drive that failed? It's kind of defeating the purpose of all this. So change a path to an external hard drive, such as in my case, I'm going to utilize my local disk E, and then you go ahead and click open, and you can see it changed right there. You would then click start backup, and everything would go, including these two partitions. And the system reserved partition is very important, because that's the partition that contains boot.ini. If you were to go ahead and just restore the C drive, it's not going to take over that boot.ini. And what that does is it allows Windows to boot. So if you don't have that, you ain't going to get anywhere. It's going to not be able to find the operating system, and you're still going to be screwed. So make sure that you have your system reserved image as well as your local disk C or your C image, both being backed up. But that's why I recommend using this one system backup, or one-click backup, because it'll automatically look for that, and it'll also look for the proper drive. Now you can also do a disk backup, and this works very much the same way, except if you have multiple partitions on a disk, it'll essentially grab the entire disk, including all those different partitions, instead of just the one that the operating system is on. So if you have programs and stuff on there that you want to keep on that other partitions, it'll essentially grab those too. So that's another one to use, but like I said, for most people, it's better off just you clicking the one-click system backup, because then you know you're going to get the right images, the right image made, so that you won't have to worry about your computer failing and then the backup not working. Restore, obviously we can't go through that right now due to the fact that we don't have any images created. Clone, you can create a clone of your drive. So let's say you want to upgrade to an SSD or something like that. You can do that using this feature. However, this is only available through the paid version. However, AOMEI is nice enough to let you advertise for them and unlock this. That's kind of nice for them to do that. So according to them, you just have to essentially post this or something similar stating AOMEI Backupper in your Facebook, Twitter, or Google account so that everyone can see it, and then they will go ahead and unlock it. I have not tried this yet, so whether this works or not, I don't know. If someone wants to go ahead and try it, that's great. Post and let everyone know the results. If you could be nice enough to do that, that'd be awesome. But for the sake of this test, we're just going to use the free version, because that's what I'm going to be using on my system. Alright, so partition clone, you can obviously clone specific partitions by selecting them if you want, and then disk clone obviously would clone the entire disk to another hard drive. This is not an image, this is a clone. It's different. It's essentially just taking the one drive and copying it to another drive. Exactly the way it was set up. It's a clone. So, utilities, this is nice. They do offer bootable media you can create. I've already done this and tried this out, but on this system I do not have the file set up because we're on a virtual machine. I just downloaded the ISO file and we're going to use that to boot up instead of using like a flash drive or a CD or DVD, just because I'm on a virtual machine. If I was on a host PC, I would have to use that type of media. But in this case, we don't have to. So this is just saying that I haven't downloaded it yet. If you want to download it, you just click the link right here. I suppose I'll show you how to do that. And then once you get here, eventually, you're going to go ahead and click download Linux boot disk or bootable disk. And you're going to go ahead and save it. And you can just go ahead and save it to, let's go to where it said, program files. Oh, sorry, and this is a 64-bit operating system, so I gotta go to the x86 architecture, and we're gonna save it in this folder just like it said, and boom, done. There we go. So now if we close this out, click yes, click next, you can see then you can go ahead, burn a CD, DVD, and make a USB bootable or export to an ISO file. I don't know really why you would want to export to an ISO file when you can just use the ISO file right off their website. Maybe someone can explain that, but that to me seems quite useless, the fact that you just saw I downloaded the ISO and I don't need to create one. So that's that, and obviously this supports, you can explore the image, check the image, and it also supports Pixie Boot, so you can do a network type boot. So if you have multiple systems you want to maintain an image with the same image, you can utilize the Pixie Boot to do that, which is very nice. So instead of having to go around to all the systems, you can just use one network. You could do it over your network, I should say. Alright, let's go to the settings here and take a look at those quick, and then we'll get into the review a little bit more in the sense of testing this out. So, compression. This utilizes compression, obviously, to conserve data on your disk, because imaging your disk is like making a copy of it. You can utilize no compression, normal, or maximum, or high in their case, they call it. For the test on here, I'm going to say none, just because I have a 20 gigabyte disk and this is only 18 gigabytes and I would like it to go as fast as possible. So I'm just going to select none, but normally I would recommend people leaving it at normal. If you're really kind of strict on disk space, go ahead and select high. It's going to take a little bit longer, but you're going to save a little bit disk space. Splitting, essentially if you don't have a big enough flash drive or big enough drive, you can use multiple flash drives and split your image down into different sizes that would then go ahead and fit on that drive. Same thing, you can choose a specific type of size here, so you can do a DVD, a CD, and then it'll automatically set that for you. But most of the time I just leave it automatic and let the system do what it needs to do. So notifications, you can obviously set up email notifications to notify you when something is done or if there's been a problem with an image, stuff like that. So intelligence sector, this is really nice because what this does is this actually looks to see, does a sector have data on it? If a sector has data on it, it's going to be copied and it's going to be imaged. If it doesn't, what's the point? Why would you want to copy an empty sector? It's just going to take up disk space, and disk space is something that this thing loves to eat up. So best to leave it at intelligent sector backup. VSS, this is volume shadow service, I believe it's called. And what this does is this allows you to go ahead and make that image file inside the Windows environment, as well as doing things inside the Windows environment without having to either take Windows offline by going to a bootable environment like you used to have to, things like that. So VSS is very nice. Leave that enabled, otherwise you're just going to have a load of problems you're going to be dealing with. So best to leave that enabled. And I know I'm only scratching the surface with it. Probably you guys are saying, really, you aren't going to go into more on that, and well, I don't really see the point, but if you want to look it up, just Google it, and there's tons of information on the internet about it. So, all right, that's it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start getting the meat and potatoes of this, and we're going to create a backup. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a system backup, because that's just the easiest way of doing things, and that's what I like. Easy. So we're going to call it system backup. We can also create multiple folders if we want. So let's say step 2, it wants to put it on our C drive. No, I don't want to put it on my C drive. I want to put it on my E drive. So we're going to go ahead and go to my E drive, and in this case I want to create a new folder too, and we're going to call it system images. So system images, we'll put it in there. All right. So now it's going to go in E-System Images. Awesome. Now we can go ahead and click Start Backup. And that's it. Now we just got to wait. So obviously I have taken off the compression, so it's going to go a little quicker now. Hopefully it'll go quicker. But I'm not going to make you guys watch this whole thing. I will go ahead and speed up the video. And when it's done, I'll be back and we will go ahead and screw up this virtual machine and I will show you how this program actually works. So once this is all done, guys, I'll be back and I'll show you how this works. Alright everyone, so it looks like the image has been created. Now what we're going to do is we're going to screw up this virtual machine. So we're going to click Finish, and now we can see our backup images here. Before we screw it up, though, let me go into a little bit more different, little bit more features here that this program offers. We click Advanced, we can delete our backup, check our image, explore image, all this stuff. Look at the properties of it if we want. It's kind of nice. It can see disk map, so you can see what it just backed up. So you can make sure everything's still there. Like I said, if you do not see your system reserved, then you know you did it wrong, because if you try to restore this to a brand new disk or a disk that the system reserved partition has been damaged, it will not work. So make sure that's there. That's very important. All right. Click backup. We can do a full backup, an incremental backup, or a differential backup. Now, the difference between incremental and differential. This is kind of a little fuzzy, so I'm sorry if I explain this wrong, but either way, they're kind of similar in their ways, but different. Incremental backup essentially looks at the full image and then looks at what has changed on the system and essentially just copies the files that have changed, and that's it. I think I'm explaining that right. Differential, essentially that, it's very much the same as incremental, but I think, what is differential again? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't really explain it, but it's very, very similar to incremental in the sense that it only copies files that have changed. So, all right, that's that. Now we can go ahead and start screwing up this virtual machine. So let's close that out. What do we want to do? Well, let's just kind of do some stuff that normally people would kind of do to their system in a sense of not knowing what they're doing. Let's go ahead and create a folder here. Oh, no, not that. Let's create a folder, and we're gonna copy this folder and paste it a couple times. Then what else do we want to do? Let's go ahead and create, what am I doing? Let's create an image here, because we like to just copy them image files. Copy and go crazy here. Oh no, that is not good. Not good at all. Got lots of image files. Now obviously you could just delete these, but for the sake of the test I'm just showing you that you can utilize this to restore that. So now let's see if we can go to add and remove programs, or they don't call it add and remove programs anymore, it's called programs and features, and I don't even know where I'm going. Alright, so what do we want to install? Let's go and let's get rid of VMware tools. We don't need them anymore. So all VMware tools is removing. I didn't think it was going to take this long to remove VMware tools. Come on. My hard drive is going absolutely nuts right now. It is doing something, but it's just taking its own sweet time, I guess. And I'm contemplating pausing the video here because of it. See, there we go. All right. I was gonna say, seriously? This is, oh no, it's still going to take forever. All right. Come on. Let's go. Yeah, instead of me testing out the program, instead you're just watching me uninstall VMware tools, it feels like here. Some things just go really fast and other things just take their own sweet time, right? Alright, so as you can see, things are getting royally screwed up now. And now we're not going to restart now. And can I actually, let's see if I can do this and get it to snap open here. I think I can go to change resolution. I'll just try this once and then I won't worry about it anymore. Yeah, it's not my resolutions. Alright, we'll just leave it as is. Go back to full screen here. And then just to show you guys that, oh good lord. Alright, let's go to computer here. I'll just go to control panel first. And then we'll go to this PC. And oh my god, I'm not. Alright, we'll just go to control panel and do this. Okay, so what I want to show you is system restore. So we'll go to system here, system protection, and you can see everything's off. So system restore is off. If we wanted to restore the system, as you can see, we cannot. No system restore. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to use AOMIE and we're going to restore this system. So let's go to our apps on this window because it's going to be a lot easier to do it through here. And where is it? Oh, wonderful. There it is. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and do it through Windows here because you can do it through Windows as well as a bootable environment. So we're going to restore our system. To text it a backup as a system. Would you like to do a system restore? Now in this case we do not want to do a system restore. We want to just kind of restore the files. We don't really care about restoring the whole system. So we're just going to go ahead and click no on that, like you saw I did. Then we're going to click next, and it's going to show you what it's going to restore. Select partition that you want to restore from the image, and we're going to essentially restore the C drive. That's all we need is a C drive in this case. So we're going to do that. And then partition restore point, we want to restore it to the C right there. So make sure those correspond. After performing operation overwritten and suggest that you back up first, but we know that we don't want to back up because we don't want this jumbled mess backed up. So we're going to click on yes if we want to continue, and it's going to give you an operational summary. What's going to happen, what's going to be changed, and where everything's going to end up. So you can see source partition is C, there's the size of it, and then it's going to be transferred over to the destination, which is going to be here, and as you can see there's the new one. So we're going to start restore. You need to be completed. Restart the computer, and we're going to say yes. So now what it's going to do is it's going to, kind of like Windows System Restore, it's going to do most of its work inside Windows right now, and then to complete it, it's going to have to go into a bootable environment, which it is able to do in itself. It'll just load the program itself in a bootable environment. So you don't need to do any weird key combinations here. As you will see, it's going to do it all on its own with no interference whatsoever. And I'll try to make sure you guys can see it, but yet speed up the video at the same time. So once this is all completed or near completed, I will be back. I don't want to make you watch this whole thing because it does take a little bit, and I don't want to make the video this really long video of, actually going pretty quick. So maybe I will stay here, 82, and it should be almost done. Yeah, hopefully whoever originally recommended or requested this, I should say, you're still a subscriber, because I know you're probably like all excited right now. He finally did it. He finally did it. Yes, I will try to get around to everyone's requests here. Just, you know, give me some time here. Okay, so it looks like it's 100% complete, and now it should reboot the system automatically. Once the system is rebooted, hopefully it'll be all back to normal. And all my new bitmap images will be gone. But right now it's not doing much of anything. There we go. Alright, so restarting. Haven't touched the mouse. Everything I've done so far has just been watching. That's all I've been doing, and talking. Watching and talking, right? Now, hopefully, I'm talking a little bit about feature videos, I suppose, while this is doing its thing. I'm hoping to get a review out, or at least a eval on Windows 10 once again, and I think I screwed up this. Nope, there we go. Okay, no, it's doing its own thing. Never mind. Anyways, hoping to get an eval done on Windows 10 to see how well that is performing. I know there's a lot of new features in it. Cortana is one of them, and I'm hoping to look at that, really kind of show how Cortana works in Windows 10. I've been playing around with it a little bit, so hoping to get user over here also, and both of us take a look at it. It's kind of what I'm waiting for too, user to become available. He's been quite busy lately, so. So as you can see right now, what it's doing is it's basically restoring the partition. So this could take a little while, so I'm going to end up pausing the video here just until this is done, and then I'll be back once it's all complete. So see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so it looks like the computer is rebooting here. So it's automatically, so I haven't clicked anything yet. So far it's all doing it on its own. And essentially it should be back up and running now. So we're just waiting for Windows to load. And then we can royally screw this computer up. Now, when it reloads here, it could take a little bit longer than you normally would expect, just because it may have to reinstall a couple drivers and Windows may have to re-authenticate itself in a way of just making sure that everything is there, because keep in mind we did change a lot of things around. So even though it is an exact image, there are files that still have been changed since the last time Windows was booted, so it kind of has to get acquainted. But as you can see, it doesn't take too long. We're already to the welcome screen. And obviously you're not going to be restoring your images every single day, so you know, if let's say something goes wrong, you at least can be a little bit patient. So as you can see here, it looks as if our system is back to normal and everything is working fine. So that is how AOMEI works, doing a system restore through a Windows environment. Well, now let's say something happens to the point your hard disk fails, or your operating system does not boot for some reason. Well, how do you get into that? How do you fix that? Well, you have to go into a bootable environment. This is where that Linux image comes in that we downloaded earlier. So let's say we created a bootable media already. We did. All right. But first, before we do that, I have to go ahead and destroy this virtual machine. So to do that, I'm going to go into Heinz Boot CD here. So let's go over to, let's go here, Heinz Boot CD, load that up, restart the system. So instead of, we're just going to destroy it anyways, so let's just do a reset. Boom. Alright. Could not change monitor select layout. Whatever. Don't know what you're yelling at me. Wow, that's not what I wanted. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I got to power it off and power on to firmware because I have to change the boot order here. Alright. Let's go here, and we want to put the CD-ROM at the top. Alright, exit, save changes. Boom. Heinz Boot CD. Here we go. And we're going to boot up into Mini Windows XP to basically get rid of all the files. We're going to delete everything, wipe out the drive entirely, simulating a new drive. So we're going to go to disk management to do that. Alright, so we're just waiting for this to boot up. Luckily it's XP, and XP is very quick on a new system like this. So just have to be a little bit patient. And there we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is, I don't want to go there, disk management. Alright, so as you can see, we have our primary drive right there. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and delete this partition. And then we're going to go ahead and delete this partition. Alright, so there we go. Everything's been wiped out. This disk is now raw. It does not have any file system on it whatsoever. It is completely unallocated. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to restart or reset. It'll be quicker. So let's just go ahead and reset this. And instead of going into Heinz boot CD, we're going to go ahead and, well, first of all, let me show you guys that this is screwed up. And as you can see, it is operating system not found. Yep, so at that point, you're probably thinking to yourself, shoot, now what am I going to do? I need to get that file printed off, and I can't now because, well, I did not back up my system. Oh, I didn't back it up, but I did make an image. So we're going to go ahead and load up our image right here, or essentially plugging in our flash drive to restore our computer. So let's go back up to reset. And now what we're going to do is now it should load up AOMIE via Linux. So you just got to give it a minute here. Now keep in mind this program does, I forgot to mention this program does support both MBR and GPT. So anyone that has a drive larger than 2 terabytes, don't worry, GPT is supported with this program. Alright, so now, whoa, we don't have any images there. Well, don't panic, we just had to change the path. So if we go to path here, you can see that we're in a Linux environment. Essentially we want to go to our disk 1. And once you find the folder we saved it in, System Images, there is our System Backup folder that AOMIE created, and then there's our System Backup.ADI. So you select that, click OK, and then the program pops up and says, hey, this program, or the program detects the selected backup is a system image. Would you like to do a system restore? In this case, we say yes. We do want to do a system restore because we have to restore all of the files back to their original location, back to their original state, and we have to also restore a system reserve volume with boot.ini in it. So you go ahead and select full backup, and then you can check restore to another location. That is kind of optional, but we're going to do it anyways. And now here is our brand new disk, unallocated, nothing in it, boom. So we got to click on that because we don't want to restore to this disk because, well, we can't. It'd be kind of stupid. That's where our original image is. So disk 0 we're going to restore it to. Click on next. Then it gives you kind of a rundown of what it's going to do. So this is what it's going to basically put onto our disk 1 partition right here. And we got our systems partition right here, our source partition, another source partition, the system reserved, and the NTFS C drive. So to do that, all we got to do now is click system or start restore. And now it's going to go through and it's going to go ahead and copy all the data to the drive. So I'm going to pause the video because this could take a little while. Once again, I'm not going to make you sit through it. And once this is all done, I'll be back and we should be back up and running. So see you guys in a minute. Alright everyone, so it looks like it states the operation has completed successfully. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and click finish. And then what I'm going to do is, before I go ahead and exit out of here, well, actually I should probably exit out first. Let's do this really quick. Exit out, go to VMware tools here, and try to get this unplugged. I don't think I did that quick enough, so we're just going to go ahead and reset. Alright, so now everything should be back to the normal in a sense. Now we'll see, like I stated earlier, Windows may have to do some kind of funky stuff where it goes through and reinstalls some of the drivers, but we'll see. I think it might be just a VMware thing. I don't think it would apply on a host PC, especially if it's the same computer. However, if you do bring it to a different computer, it probably would have to do that. So, moment of truth right here though, we'll see if it does it. If Windows does not, if the Windows logo doesn't pop back up saying getting ready, then it's not going to do it. But let's see. So far, so good. It's just taking a little while. At least we had a Windows logo, all right? So that's farther than we got last time. It's definitely farther. We're making progress, right? Okay, so it looks as if Windows Update has popped up on the corner there saying I have updates available. Haven't gotten those done, but we do have a welcome screen. It's a good sign. So pretty much this is going to be the end of the review right here. There you go. Back online, back up and running in a matter of minutes. And everything is there that we had before. So essentially, summarizing this review, AOMIE Backupper. What do I think of it? I think it's awesome. Free program. It does what it says it does. Does it good? Does it fast? Does it quick? Awesome. Everything about it so far is cool. I actually started running this on multiple computers of mine around the house here, and I'm probably going to end up, actually I just installed it today, matter of fact, on my host PC here. So I've tested this quite a bit. So far I really enjoyed it. I have to say A+ for this program. If anyone else has anything that they prefer out there, can't say I'll test it just because they are kind of time consuming to test, but if I have some extra time, maybe I'll run it through the courses and kind of take a look at it. But so far, AOMIE, awesome job. Anything else I'm missing? Yes. So let's say that your computer were to fail, like something where your motherboard is taken out along with other components, but your hard drive is but you still have that image back up from the hard drive. You can actually take it and bring it to a new computer of similar specifications. Or if it's a different computer with different specifications, sometimes it'll work. I did try it on my virtual machine here, bringing it to a different, created a whole new virtual machine, and it did seem to work. But I understand that the hardware specifications are very similar. So let's say if you have an older computer and you upgrade to a brand new one, Windows 7, Windows 8 do have a lot of anti-piracy features that would detect that you've brought it to a different computer, and you may have to reactivate Windows doing it that way, and you're not really legally supposed to do that, especially if it's an OEM version of Windows, something like if you buy a Dell or a Gateway and you were to buy a new one, legally you're not really supposed to transfer that over. But as opposed to transferring all your files and folders over manually, I would say screw that, and normally I don't usually say that, but if you're expecting me to sit there for hours and hours and hours and try to find all my stuff and reinstall my programs on my new computer, well, if it's going to be the same operating system, you're better off just doing it this way. Some people do prefer to do clean installations. I'm kind of one of those, especially if it's a different version of Windows. Just drag and drop your files over there so that you don't take over any of the kind of quirks from the previous operating system, instead of doing it via a image file or a backup utility, something like that. So, yeah, AOMIE, I would recommend it. Highly recommend it, actually. As you can see, it did exactly what it did and got me back online, back and working again in minutes, because we simulated a hard drive failure, put in a new drive, restored our image, and we can go on the internet once again and continue with our lives. That's why this is very important to back up your stuff, because if we didn't have a backup and our hard drive failed, I'd still be sitting here and I'd be frustrated as all hell, because there's a lot of stuff I have on my computer, and I'm glad I found this program, because having to sit there and reinstall it would be a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. So that's going to be it for this review, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that I did something incorrect, or if you think that I should do something differently for the next time. And I was just checking here that system backup was okay. So it looks like there it is. Okay, for some reason it just did not detect it in that folder. It's interesting. I never encountered that before. But anyways, that's going to be it for this review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Once again, yada yada yada, like the whole spiel. So, all right, I will talk to you guys later, and hopefully see you next time doing Windows 10. Well, probably not Windows 10. It's too time consuming. So, all right. Either way, I'll stop babbling. See you guys later.